Move over, Batman. We ain't in Gotham anymore. It's time for Alfred to save the day. We're talking all about it in this brand new series called Pennyworth, starting right now.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN
Coming
of
in on the
TV
wide.
talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
After Buzzers, how's it going? Thank you for joining us for this brand new series, Pennyworth. We're talking about the pilot episode, and this series really caught me by surprise. Before we get into any more of this, I'm your host, Benny Adams, and joining me is a lover of all sci-fi. She's actually covered some sci-fi shows on AfterBuzz TV, Miss Sherry.
Hey, everybody.
This show was amazing. We have a lot to talk about, you guys. We have some special segments that we want to share with you guys, as well as one of my favorite topics, predictions. But yeah, exactly. But before we get into any of that, Sherry, what did you think of this episode?
I was shocked when they first announced the show. I was like, more Batman. And then I watched it and I was like, fell in love. It is a spy drama, 60s costumes, and damn, Pennyworth is mighty sexy in this.
Oh, yeah.
He's bringing it.
This, I am a fan of anything that has to deal with Batman. So when I heard about this show, I was like, I'm down for it. I was a little worried because the main character was Alfred Pennyworth. And I know he in the comics and in the cartoon and in the other adaptions, he is kind of a badass, but I was like, can he hold his own? And I saw the first episode and I was like, he can hold his own. He's amazing. He's amazing. Like, dare I say, could he be even more of a badass than Batman himself? Crazy mic drop, right?
But, you know, he is the one that raised our Bruce Wayne.
He is.
And now we know where he got some of his badassness from.
Exactly. So we're going to get more into Alfred. I first want to start off with the introduction to Alfred. As we said, he is a complete badass. He's a little different from what we know from him in the comics and in other adaptions of Batman. What did you think of his character of the show?
Well, when you think about it, I've met Batman's beloved father figure. And to me, he's always been like 50-something, 60. So, you know, you slow down a little bit once you hit 40. And now meeting him as a young 20-something in swinging London, which was just poppin'. And he was a soldier. And you see what went on when he was like fighting the war. And his crew, who are also badasses. Yeah. I was like, wow. And can I just say, England's a lot more diverse than you see in some of these shows.
Yeah. It is. I noticed that as well. I did notice that. I loved it.
I'm loving you guys.
Yes.
And these are from the creators that did Gotham. So, yes, I'm ready to cross the pond for them.
Right. And I want to make something clear. So this is not a spin-off of Gotham, but it is in the same universe as Gotham.
It's based on the comic book, and the two men went on to this, but I got a chance to talk to them at Comic-Con, and they said it's not exactly the same because it's the mythical comic book version of 60s England, because you'll notice there's some things that aren't time appropriate.
Right.
But they said it will have the same sort of spirit and veuve de vrai. Damn it, my French is terrible. But, you know, it has that same spirit, that same, you know, je ne sais quoi.
Right. Yeah. I loved how the creators of the show made Alfred to be. You know, we were introduced to him, like you said. He was in the war. He works at a club, and he has just such this persona of like this, like we keep on saying this badass, like, I don't care, like, I'm gonna do what I want when I want. And I loved it. And one thing I really did love was there was an Easter egg that I noticed in this episode where we meet his parents, and his dad said, "You're gonna be a butler before you're 40." And I'm like, oh my god, like, this is Batman right here.
It was so cool, especially when you think about how England is so class conscious and how he was trying to break out of that and be his own person after going to the war.
Right.
And if he was 24 and he's been in the army for so long, he must have joined when he was like 15, 16 years old. And I was like, oh, damn. But his parents, I love his parents.
Yeah.
When some shit goes down, I want my parents to be in there just kicking.
Hands down. Hands down. So we're introduced to this group known as the Raven Society. So we know a little bit about them. We don't know as much, but we do know the Raven Society has got Alfred into this big hurdle of a mess because they kidnapped his girlfriend, and so now he's trying to save the day. What did you think about that whole situation? How Alfred went above and beyond to save this girl that he's only known for 2 weeks, pretty much.
But they're already talking about love because, you know, when you're young, the hormones are popping out there. I thought it was really interesting that first he tried to go to the police, and the policeman saw the little Raven's signal, and he was like, oh, well, I'm out. And then they called. Bet Sykes is a phenomenal villain because she is not being a villain motivated by love or for her boyfriend. She was like, nah, I'm down with the utopian society. I'm on team you.
Oh my gosh.
Lord Harwood. But like, I personally can honestly say if I'm ever kidnapped, I'd like someone that cares for me to do whatever's necessary to save me. Like she said before, she's like, well, I don't believe in war, guns, or nothing. But when she got kidnapped, what did she believe?
Oh, yeah, she was down for it.
Stab him, do whatever you need to.
And you said the villain you were just praising, she kind of reminds you of, or you were telling me earlier, she kind of reminds you of the Joker.
Yes.
And I love that because the Joker is a very iconic villain in the Batman universe. And
she's great because she has that weird relationship with her victims, trying to turn them the way the Joker has done. And Bet Sykes, it was interesting watching her interplay with Esme, because at first it was like violent. Then she seems attracted to posh upper class society, which is what Esme's part of. And then when she was trying to dance with her and trying to connect with her, I was like, you have that Manchurian kidnap thing backwards, lady. But, hey, I loved how Esme was like, I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to take my shot.
Hey, I would have done the same exact thing. I don't care if she's being nice to me or if she's dancing with me. I'm in trouble right now. If I see an opportunity to get out of harm's way, I'm going to take it. And that's what she did. Yes.
Her mistake was when she saw all the other posh people. She was like, I'm posh and you're posh. You're with me. They're lower class people. You're in their house, girl.
That's when you like go the opposite direction.
I'm not going in a room with y'all.
Yeah.
I'm like, where's the door?
Yeah. I think she is an amazing villain, and I cannot wait to see what she has in store, because you don't know what to expect from her. You know, she's not like this evil type of person. You know, she tries to like kind of make a connection with you, and you're kind of wondering, you know, is she on my side or is she not on my side? So that's going to be really interesting.
She's on somebody's side. I'm just not sure who. Yeah. And in real life, she's a pop singer in England.
Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't know that. That's really cool. Let's move to when Alfred meets Thomas Wayne. I was really surprised about Thomas's character because, as we all know, Thomas is Batman's father, Bruce Wayne. But he's really nothing like Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne is like this serious guy. Thomas Wayne was more of, you know, a sarcastic, I don't want to say aloof, but just, he didn't really seem to he just wasn't that much of a serious character to me. What did you think about that?
Thomas is a spy or a dilettante who's wealthy and rich and is just like, I'm going to mess with society in England. This will be fun. Yeah. The way he went to get his sister and he was like, nah, I know what y'all want with my sister. You need to get away from her. I thought it was interesting because when you really think about it, the reason Bruce Wayne became the Batman was because of the trauma of seeing his parents killed. If his parents hadn't been killed in front of him, he probably would have been, you know, some rich playboy just living his life, being rich and running a business. And so that's why Thomas, when the first interaction when people were shooting at him, he was like you and I would be like, oh, damn, I didn't
Right.
mean for, hey, I'm just playing at being a spy. Just playing.
And you bring up a good point. If Thomas never died, I feel like Bruce Wayne would kind of still have that personality that Thomas has right now. So that's really interesting. And another thing that I really loved, and this just was so awesome to me. The second time when Alfred meets Thomas, he is in his mansion. He's trying to save his girlfriend, and he's in a mask and he has a gun. And I'm like, this is the exact same situation how Thomas met his fate. There was a guy with a gun. The only thing different was Thomas actually got shot. Did you think that was on purpose how the writers did that, or?
I thought it was interesting, but it was also a reminder of how Pennyworth wants to run his security firm and his expectation of his team. Because as much as I found his Dave boyfriend funny, Dave boy is a little trigger happy.
Yeah.
His other friend, Baza, was like, dude, what's going on? First of all, who made you boss? I thought that was interesting. I thought it was definitely a parallel between the society and the emotion and the decency that Pennyworth imparts on Bruce as he is his father figure.
Right.
But of course, AfterBuzz TV imparts a lot on our fans. And I want to thank all of you for watching us, because it doesn't matter if you're a fan of animation, doesn't matter if you're a fan of drama, reality, sci-fi, we have it all. And all of us who are panelists want to thank you for watching us, because we love sharing our passion with you. I've been on AfterBuzz TV for almost 2 years, and I've met so many great people. I've learned so much. I cannot say how thankful I am to have been a part of this and to share my passion with all of you. So I hope that if you're watching us on YouTube, that you'll subscribe and give us 5 stars. If you're listening to us on Apple Podcast, give us 5 stars or a thumbs up and subscribe. But more importantly, just join us. It doesn't matter if you are a lover of Orange is the New Black, or Attack on Titans, or Killjoy, the show that I do earlier in the evening. We will talk about it, talk your ear off. We will communicate with you in the chat. So just make sure you follow and subscribe us. Know how thankful we are that you're watching us every day, all day and all night. And please, please share the passion with all your friends and family, and let them know that not only can they share shows that they know already with us, but they get to discover all sorts of new shows if you follow one of our channels. We're always finding the best new shows and talking about it. That's why I'm enjoying talking Pennyworth with you.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, you guys, thank you so much for just watching us. And if you're in the group chat, let us know how we're doing. Let us know what you think about the show. So before we get into the next topic, real quick, you know how there's a Batman and a Robin. Do you think the writers are trying to pair Thomas and Pennyworth as like this dynamic duo, as like a Batman and Robin?
I don't think so. I think it's going to be like a friendship.
Okay.
But as much as I love Thomas does not seem like he will ever pick up a gun. And if he does, it will be strictly out of desperation.
Yes.
He's more of a spy master that works in the office,
Okay.
as opposed to the person that's on the ground getting shot at. He was not down with that life.
I completely
Not at
agree. I completely agree. I can't wait to see like what else we see from Thomas, and you know, just how he became the man he is that helped create Bruce Wayne. But let's move on to Alfred saving Esme. As we said earlier, he went through so much to save this girl that he's only known for 2 weeks. I remember watching it, and he was talking about moving in with her after 2 weeks. I'm like, wait, is that how they did it back then?
I think it was. I think like you found someone, you're like, yay. And I have to say, I also think he's motivated by the fact that he's trying to get out of his class. And he sees that she speaks posh, which he commented on a few times, and he realizes she's further up the ladder
Right.
in England. And I think he was thinking to himself, I'm gonna hitch my star to this.
Hey,
This vicar's daughter.
shoot your shot. Shoot your shot. No shame in that. But so Pennyworth, Alfred, he finds, or he goes to like the main headquarters of the Raven Society. Fast forward, he gets captured. The leader of the Raven Society offers him a deal. If I remember correctly, he didn't really take it.
No.
And he decided to fight back. What do you think about his character for not deciding to fight back, or not deciding to take the deal?
They already proved that they were liars and that you couldn't trust them with the first exchange. And for them to involve Esme when he had nothing to do with Thomas Wayne,
right.
And then meeting him at a club, he didn't know him. He had to like find him and investigate it and get everything together. So anyone would not trust the Raven Society. I don't think that they would have not killed them. Right.
Yeah, and I think this really touches on Alfred's character, which I really like. He's not the type of person to just be tricked that easily,
yes.
Which I really liked. And another thing I want to touch on really quickly was his family. His family
Love his mom and dad.
When they all came to his house, his family just went
150%. You will not bring this into my house.
Right, exactly.
The mom was like, there's something wrong with you. And the mom was like, oh yeah, baby, hold it. Esme, stand back.
Yeah,
and they just
right.
went total like, this is how we roll in the working class society.
I love it.
Beat your ass.
I love it.
Kicking him. I was like, damn.
So we know that back in the day, Alfred was, he was someone not to mess with.
His entire family is nobody to mess with.
Mm-hmm. And this leads us to our special segment. We're going to do a little top 3 segment. I'm going to let you take the lead on that one.
Well, we have had probably like 20 or 30 different Alfred Pennyworths over the years.
Yes.
And you and I discussed who were our favorites. And our top 3 are Ray Fiennes from the Lego. Oh, our top 3 is Michael Caine from The Dark Knight.
Mm-hmm.
Our number 2 is going to be Ray Fiennes from the Lego Movie. And our final drum beat.
Let's go.
Has to be Sean Petrie from the Gotham Theory, which are the same 2 gentlemen that are doing the Pennyworth show.
Okay, well. Yeah, and yeah, we were all talking about it. And I didn't realize how many actors have played Alfred.
Yes.
So it was a tough decision. So those 3 were the top ones. I think those 3 were the ones who really gave the character Alfred justice.
And this year is Batman's 80th birthday.
Yeah, it is.
So 80 years of Batman in comic books, graphic novels, TV, animation. There are a lot of Batmans, and his number 2,
right,
and number 3, and number 4. There's a lot of Batman and his friends.
So let's move on to our next special segment. Something special from Comic-Con.
Yee! I got to go to Comic-Con. Woo! Special segment.
All right, guys. So we have a video that both Sherry and myself, this is Ryan Nelson from the booth, we both got to go to Comic-Con and do the Pennyworth experience that they were having as an off-site at Comic-Con in San Diego. And Sherry has a video for us right here that I'll play, and you can kind of walk us through with what's going on, Sherry. So I'm going to start the video right now.
Wait.
So this was...
Hey, this is Sherry. So it was at San Diego Comic-Con. It was so much fun. And so I got to go to the Pennyworth experience, which was at a nightclub. They basically reinvented parts of the show for us. So we got to go into the nightclub. You got like a mocktail, no real alcohol. Fooey! You got like biscuits, which are, of course, the British version of cookies.
Those are really good.
So as you can see, when you walk in, it's like this little speakeasy, but like a 1960s version. They were all dressed to the nines, like they were at that posh club where he worked.
Uh-huh.
There's some go-go dancers dancing, who I had to like do a little bit of a jam out myself with the girls. And there was blackjack. I played around. Sadly, there were no prizes with that. A little makeup area, as if you were going to the back. There was a set from when they went to the Raven Society dinner.
Okay.
They had some tchotchkes. If I remember, I'm going to bring in some of the tchotchkes that I got, and you guys can maybe give them away as a prize. Right there, I'm getting this, which I'm not going to give to any of you because I'm incredibly selfish. This is why I'm single.
I want one.
And then there is this, and they even had a little torture chamber, which was super fun. I had a blast at Comic-Con, and I even got a chance to talk to some of the cast members, the executive producers, where I got to ask them a few questions about it, and it was eye-opening.
Gosh.
So this was a bit of my experience. Yeah, I went as the Flash this Comic-Con, and I know another DC character, and basically, yeah, and basically, just like you said, everyone was talking in accents. It was just like we were Alfred at one of these nightclubs. We got some cool photos.
There he is, right there.
Yes.
Yeah, there it is. There we are. Boom, boom. Yeah,
Ooh,
and just
nice.
like it was a really cool experience. Like I felt like it was really authentic, and they definitely put some good money to it. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Yes,
Like,
definitely.
They really cared about it. Like you could tell there was a lot of heart and passion put into this offsite. Because I went to a few, and this one was by far my favorite, just because there was so much to do, and it was really interactive.
It felt very immersed in the show, like you were in the show or something. And it had different sections. And even if you hadn't seen the show, it gave you enough of a curiosity picking that you're like, oh, I have to subscribe to Epix so that I can watch this show.
That is so cool.
Such a blast.
Nice.
Beautifully done. Like the costumes were really neat. The setup was neat. Going down the little stairs. I felt like I was like in some posh, cool club.
That is amazing. Like, I wish I would have, like, I could have seen all that. That's so cool.
You would have loved it, Benny. It was a
So
lot of
fun.
fun. Like very authentic.
I would have geeked out like no other. I kid you not. I would have geeked out. Speaking of geeking out, I cannot wait to find out, what happens throughout this entire season. Yes. I'm like I said before, I am very impressed with this show. So this takes us on to our predictions of this show.
TV predictions.
Sherry, what do you think is going to happen in this upcoming season?
I think what's going to happen in the upcoming season is we're going to get to know the Raven Society and No Name Society more so. We're going to see more of Queen Elizabeth, who is not some retiring monarch. I think she was very involved in what was going on. And we're going to see how Pennyworth becomes the man that we know that raised Bruce Wayne, a.k.a. Batman.
Yeah, I completely agree. And to go a little bit further on Queen Elizabeth, she did say something towards the end where she said, I fear there is going to be more darkness lying ahead of you. So I think you are right. We are going to be seeing a lot more of her, which I'm very interested in seeing because we haven't really seen that type of figure in the Batman universe. So I'm excited about that. I really want to see how Thomas meets his wife, Martha Wayne. That will be really interesting if we get to see that. Yes. And I just want to see just all these characters, Pennyworth, Thomas, Esme. I want to see them grow, and I just want to see them become these characters that we all love in the comics.
It should be a blast. Beautifully well done and well written series. I'm very impressed with Epix.
Yes, I love it. But that is all the time we have for you guys today. Thank you so much for joining us. I am your host, Benny Adams. You can find me on all social media at Benny J. Adams.
And you can find me, Cherry_LA, on Twitter and Instagram, and Sundays at 6 p.m. Pacific time, talking Killjoys. Thank you so much for having me on tonight.
Thank you, guys. And we will see you guys next Sunday for another amazing episode of Pennyworth.
Thank you. Bye.
See you guys later.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.